and the conference that is coming up in Kenya in November this year. So we also talked about the trade between Kenya and India with Narendra Modi. But here I only wanted to mention the issue of cancer treatment, because cancer is one of the major killers of our people, and we need to find a way of dealing with cancer effectively. We, as a people, have several challenges. And when I'm here today on this platform, because everybody has spoken about the handshake. And I want it to be known that this handshake did not just come as an accident. It was a product of circumstances prevailing at that such time. You know what we went through last year and this year. And we are facing several challenges. The Kenya was was already on the precipice. Kenya was going to tip over. We had said that if they're going to swear their candidate, we will also going to swear. And then they also said that if you dare swear, it will be high treason, punishable by death, by hanging. And we say that if that is the price that Kenyans must pay so that we can get electoral justice, we are prepared to pay it. So we reached a stage where there was complete stalemate. And because there's no dialogue, we took the oath. After taking the oath, our people now said, now that we've taken the oath, let us remove all the portraits of the president from all the public premises in all our strongholds. Put them in a heap and burn them. And then begin to collect taxes from businesses so that we run our own affairs. That was one extreme. The other hand, Uhuru supporters told him, Raila has done what we said cannot be done. Let us arrest him and charge him with treason. So he also had that other extreme to deal with. So I looked at this and said, where we are going to lose Kenya as we have known it. We are going to take Kenya to Syria, to Yemen, if we go these routes. Uhuru was thinking the other side, and Raila was thinking the other side. Then we somehow agreed that we need to meet. I said, I'm only prepared to talk if we will bring all the topics that we talked about on the table. Not the Big Four agenda. And they said they're ready to negotiate everything. And we met with Uhuru Kenyatta alone, because we agreed that if we bring other people at this stage, there are going to be so many vested interests competing, and we will not reach an agreement. And we talked for a long, long time, adjourned after long discussions. We met again several days later, again a very long time. After this, we agreed. We have identified the problems that are ailing Kenya, from the struggle for independence, to independence, post-independence, up to where we are. Because our national anthem actually encapsulates the Kenyan dream. If you talk about Canaan, you find it in the Kenyan dream. God-fearing nation, justice is our shield and defender. We will dwell in unity, peace and liberty. Plenty be found within our borders. plenty be found within our borders. That is the Canaan. So, but for the last 55 years, that Canaan has eluded us. We took a journey and looked at where we are today. You say that we have several countries in one, which is called Kenya. You have a country torn by poverty, by discrimination, ethnicity, corruption, insecurity, joblessness, and so on. You have a situation where a youth goes for an interview. His or her name is either a blessing or a curse. The moment he or she mentions their names, it's already decided whether they are going to be employed or they're not going to be employed. This is not the kind of Kenya that the forefathers wanted. And we agreed with Uhuru Kenyatta. It started with those Jaramogi and Kenyatta. And we agreed it will end with Uhuru and Raila. We will work out to ensure that at the end of this term, we have a united Kenya. Kenya people become one people. We will deal with this animal called corruption head on. We will deal with ethnicity head on. We will deal with the divisive elections head on. We will deal with the insecurity head on. We will deal with issues of poverty head on. If we deal with all those issues, we identified 9 points which we have put in the MOU. If we deal with them, then we will have opened the door to get to the Kenyan people to Canaan. That is what the founding fathers of our nation wanted. That the Kenya, where justice is a shield and defender, where people live in unity, peace and liberty, and plenty is found within those borders. That is the meaning. And when we have already agreed, we said we will go and announce it, you and me, to the people of Kenya. And then other discussions can take place thereafter. That is the meaning of the handshake. So Uhuru stood that side and I stood this side. And we said, and we shook hands. People said, how can this happen? This is betrayal. I'm telling them. Nelson Mandela was detained by the Boers for 27 years. When he came out with detention, he told his people, I perceive that the time has come for us to talk the Boers. They said, this old man has become senile. What do we discuss with the Boers? We have killed so many of our people. A Boer's medicine is a bullet. Mandela said, although the apartheid regime was weakened, it still had power to continue for a long time. And many more lives would have been lost. They shook hands with the clerk. And within 4 years, the prisoner who came out of prison was the president, and the president was his vice president. If Mandela could shake hands with the clerk, if Yasser Arafat could shake hands with Rabin, why is it wrong for Raila Odinga to shake hands with Uhuru Kenyatta? And when we shook hands, the pressures came down. But it became infectious. Because within 2 weeks, the leaders of North Korea and South Korea went to what used to be known as 58th parallel separating the two countries, the most guarded border in the world. And they shook hands and stepped both south and stepped back in the north. Then Trump also followed suit and went to Singapore to meet with the leader of North Korea. So this is something that is unique, but is happening in the world. Mr. Narendra Modi thanked me profusely. He told me that he received so many alarming messages from Indians living in Kenya. Kenya is going to implode. Kenya is imploding. And he told me, thank you so much for saving Kenya and exhibiting this kind of nationalism. So this is meant to open opportunities for our people as we deal with all those issues that must be sorted out. And that's the reason why we have set up a task force consisting of 14 people to deal with all these issues. That task force is already working. It has been meeting secretly. By working, they have made a lot of progress. Shortly, they are going to convene a conference on corruption. This is the first item they are going to deal with. They are going to convene a conference to deal with the issue of corruption in our country. How do we deal with it? But you can see that already several institutions dealing with corruption have been energized and are working. We need to give these institutions power to continue to fight corruption. And here, now that I have got a number of members of parliament here, parliament must stand on the right side of history in the battle against corruption. If parliamentarians are also compromised to sanitize what is already known to everybody as dirty corruption, then parliament will find itself on the other wrong side of history. It's like you sent a hungry dog to chase a man who is carrying meat. That thief will throw the meat to the dog, and the dog will be busy eating the meat as the thief is escaping. Members of parliament must lead by example. That's why they're being paid a lot of salaries, to be protectors of the people. But now if parliament is itself going to be unaccomplished in this, then Kenyan people must think twice. Again, members of parliament should also respect our institutions. We've set up certain constitutional commissions, like salary review commission. Why does parliament think that they are above the constitution? That the salary cannot be set by a salary review commission? Parliament is showing a very bad example to the people, the youth of this country. And they must lead by example. I want to plead through the leaders who are here to talk to their colleagues out there. Kenyans are watching. You want to see what's happening. When the investigative institutions are already at work, like the issue of sugar, the institutions are already at work. Then we hear a parliamentary committee has called those people, those same sugar lords, that are going to be investigated. And then they come up to sanitize this. Leave those commissions to arrest these people and prosecute them. Parliament does not have investigative capacity. The institutions which have been trained, which have got facilities, equipment to carry out investigations, by calling somebody before Parliament committee, shouting at them, so that you can be seen on television, you are not doing anything useful to the country. That so-and-so has been called for grilling. You're calling for grilling, but already you've got CID officers who have already investigated these people and are trying to prosecute them. Let us not have conflict of interest in these issues. This is an issue that I felt I must raise here today as we say goodbye to Ben Oluoch Okello.